Why did I write Steve's story? Was a question that somebody asked me, and I've been doing a lot of thinking about that. To be honest, I am not entirely sure why exactly I wrote Steve's story. I will say that at the time I had less than a year of being sober under my belt, and I suddenly found I had a lot of extra time on my hands. It had never really occurred to me before how much time and effort I had spent in my second career, or my side career, as it were, as a drinker. My other career had been in the auto industry, and even with the amount of alcohol I drank nightly, I still maintained and managed to function at the job. But having said that, the consequences of the booze and eventually caught up with me, and suffice to say, I was jobless and I was forced to make a decision. It was a tough decision. Of course, after my 28 days and nights at the resort, as I like to call it, I changed careers and went to work at a hotel as a night auditor because there was less triggers there. They asked me if I minded working on the weekends, and I said, nope, of course not, because the weekends were times that I drank even more. So there was just less triggers there, and all during this time I devoured books and Netflix, and I still found that I had so much free time. Of course, now that I'm thinking about things, I recall applying to be a contestant on Big Brother, or a house guest as they put it. That was a show on CBS. It still is. I had these delusions of grandeur that I would be accepted, and that I might become famous, and that it might be a good idea to tell my life story from my perspective rather than have somebody find out about it in the trade magazines. And because I do have a lot of skeletons in my closet. Not that I'm upset about them per se. They were a part of my journey, as I like to say. But anyway, I just thought it would be a good idea to write about it, all the dirt in my life, and see what happens. Of course, I never made it on Big Brother, although that didn't stop me from applying the next 2 years. So I did apply 3 times. Of course, I never made it, but I did write the book. It was kind of an eye-opening experience for me. It was very cathartic. It showed me an insight into my life and the things that I did, and kind of gave me not a reason why I did everything, but it gave me a perspective, a different perspective. And I think ultimately, maybe if somebody reads it and they're starting to go down the same paths that I did, doing the same things that I did, maybe they'll read that, what I did, and say to themselves, oh boy, I know what happened. Maybe I should stop or change directions, slow down a bit. But anyway, I think that's a good explanation as to why I wrote Steve's story. I remember a couple of times stopping and thinking I shouldn't write this because I'll embarrass my family, and then thinking, well, what the heck, they'll probably find out anyway. So ultimately I did, and now I've got 3 other books under my belt, fiction, although people might think that my true life is fiction because there's just so much fiction-ish stuff in it. But anyway, that's me. That's my first video, and more to come. Bye.